I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next, but I will. I'll just tell a quick story, because somebody asked me one time about what were the craziest moments in Yes, and I said, plenty of them. Which one? And I thought of one that night, actually. And, you know, Yes has had so many experiences, you know, musically and everything. And as you may remember, in '84, we became mega famous around the world. And I made a #1 hit record, One of a Lonely Heart. And it made us very, yeah, thank you. It was like big stars. You know, I was 7'3" then. You know. So, we had a gig down in Rio. We played in front of 500,000 people. It was kind of freaky and wonderful at the same time. And they just loved the band, and you know, the band was playing great, and it was really fun. The next gig after that, we were going to play in Uruguay. No, actually, we were going to play in Argentina. But we went to Uruguay to stay in a hotel for a couple of days before we went to Argentina. And we were going to play in a sort of football stadium. Again, 75,000 people each night. We were going to play 2 shows. And so there we were, having fun on the beach, actually. It was a couple of days, rest. And then we got a phone call from the Prime Minister of Argentina, and there'd been problems because this is 1985, actually. And it was 2 years after the Falklands War, right? And we were the first English band to come and play there, you know? And we'd had this war with them, and there were people very upset because there were some terrible things that happened in that war over a couple of islands with sheep. It was the most stupid war, as wars are, most of them. So we got a phone call from the Prime Minister, and on the phone was the guy in charge of the army, and they said that we'd had death threats against the band if we performed, and what shall we do? And I said, I want to go home. And I remember, I think it was Alan said, here, George, we're going to go, we're going to do it, for music, you know. And I said, yes, okay. After a couple of talks, I said, okay, let's do it. And we went there, and we were completely surrounded by these armed guards all the time. And we're going on stage, 75,000 people just going bananas. And there was, the army was circling the stadium just to make sure everything was safe. And I remember Chris turning around to me as we're going on stage, he says, you know who they're going to shoot at first, don't you? I said, yeah, of course. The stage like a lunatic. Ruby said, you always live your life, never thinking of the future. Ruby said, you are the steps you take your chances, we no loser. Be yourself, you're every move you make, you and that's the only way. Shake yourself, you're every move you make. So the story goes, for all the lonely hearts, for all the lonely hearts, much better than for all the broken hearts, for all the lonely hearts. Who say you don't want a chance? You've been hurt so before. Watch it now, the eagle in the sky, how we dance in one away. You lose yourself, no, being sick.